and welcome. I am Manish Anand and you're watching contributors.com. In the last two episodes, we talked about the backdrop in which Delhi elections for the assembly in 2020 took place. By 2015, Arvind Kejriwal had a ready-made political turf in Delhi and he grabbed it by both hands. Arvind Kejriwal and Sheila Dikshit incidentally have a lot of similarities. Arvind Kejriwal not just only modeled his political statecraft on Sheila Dikshit, but scaled up many of her tricks. One was to eliminate all the political rivals from within the party so that nobody is there to contest against her. Arvind Kejriwal did also the same. Aam Aadmi Party was founded in the Constitution Club in the presence of Shanti Bhushan, his lawyer son Prashant Bhushan, Kumar Vishwas, and many more leaders. People voluntarily contributed money and the party took off its political activities in Delhi. In 2015 assembly elections, Arvind Kejriwal had a galaxy of leaders in the Aam Aadmi Party who built narrative in the capital city. Kumar Vishwas, Yogendra Yadav, Ashish Khaitan, Prashant Bhushan, Ashutosh, these were a few of the leaders whom people saw around Arvind Kejriwal in 2015. In fact, Kumar Vishwa was the main orator during the Ramlila agitation by Anna Hazare. By 2020 assembly elections, none of these leaders are anywhere in the party. They all have left the Aam Aadmi Party. Many of them are speaking very vocally against Arvind Kejriwal. In fact, Kumar Vishwas does abuse him quite often. So, like Sheila Dikshit, who in the course of 15 years finished off her political rivals, Arvind Kejriwal also did exactly the same politically within the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, with the demise of Sheila Dikshit, Congress in Delhi is almost buried deep in its grave. There are no leaders who can revive the party. If there happens to be a scenario in which Arvind Kejriwal had to leave the political scene, what would happen to Aam Aadmi Party? Aam Aadmi Party would also meet the same fate as the Congress in Delhi. This party, born out of a movement, will finish off because it again is an individual-centered political outfit with no base of leadership. Sheila Dikshit had another trick of the statecraft, and that was the media management. Delhi government has quite a huge advertisement budget. With all the publications and the news channels centered in Delhi and surrounding areas, they are invariably dependent on Delhi government for the advertisement to sustain themselves in the market. In Sheila Dikshit's time, it had been a practice that if there would be any critical stories appearing in any of the newspapers, she would summarily stop the advertisements for these publications. And the owners of these newspapers would then rush to her and apologize and plead for the release of the advertisements. That was the trick Sheila Dikshit employed with great success in Delhi's newspapers, and she hardly had any criticism appearing in any of the newspapers, magazines, or even television channels. Arvind Kejriwal perfected this art, and in the last 5 years, one may wonder if he or she has come across any news items or write-ups in any of the newspapers critical of Arvind Kejriwal. That was not possible. In fact, one of the bureau chief of a Hindi newspaper had to leave his job because he criticized Arvind Kejriwal on one of the social media platforms. So that was the scale of media management of Arvind Kejriwal that was many more notches above than Sheila Dikshit. With these two tricks, Arvind Kejriwal perfected the art of Sheila Dikshit in controlling the politics of Delhi and building the narrative with the control of the media houses. Delhi government has a huge advertisement budget and that gives quite a big handle for any ruling dispensation to control the kind of coverage the media people do. That is very unfortunate because constructive criticism or even genuine criticism loses out and the public don't get access to the wrongdoings of the incumbent government. In times of Sheila Dikshit, in fact, the reporters who covered her government, they had access to each corridor, each floor in the Delhi Secretariat. In fact, the reporters used to stand just outside the conference room where the cabinet meetings used to take place. So the media people had a lot of access in times of Sheila Dikshit, but after 2015, when Arvind Kejriwal came back to power, the access of the media people was completely denied. They had no entry within the secretariat and they cannot go freely and meet anybody inside until they have prior appointment. So media curb was brought in by the Kejriwal government, which had come out by promising alternative politics. So the alternative politics of the Aam Aadmi Party is essentially based on promoting one person, curbing access to media, and managing media in a way that no negative news appears. In Punjab, H.S. Fulka was one of the big Aam Aadmi Party leader. He was a member of the Punjab Assembly. He has also quit the party. All those proponents of the alternative politics have left. In fact, two Rajya Sabha MPs the Aam Aadmi Party chose apparently come from business classes, and there are allegations that they were able to go into the upper house of the parliament only because of their money power. However, there is a clear difference between Sheila Dikshit and Arvind Kejriwal on one count. If you were a reporter on Delhi government beat and if you made a call to the chief minister, and if Mrs. Dikshit was not available at home or was not willing to take your call at that time, she would take care to return your call the next morning. Early morning, even while you were sleeping, she would call and talk to you and say that you had called and if there was any important issue. With Arvind Kejriwal, this is not a case. He is not accessible to any, I don't think, any reporter in Delhi. He may be interacting with the top management or the editors, but not the reporters. Sheila Dikshit had a little bit of tolerance for criticism, but Arvind Kejriwal has shown in the last 5 years that he has no tolerance at all for any sort of criticism. So, as far as being democratic is concerned, Sheila Dikshit was a little more democratic, and Arvind Kejriwal doesn't fit into comparison with. Thus, we can see that Sheila Dikshit and Arvind Kejriwal had common issues about dissent within the party as well as outside. So, both were not so tolerant about dissent within the party, and Sheila Dikshit cabinet was basically consisting of the sycophants in Kiran Walia, Arvind Singh Lavli, Rajkumar Chauhan, and the same is the case with Arvind Kejriwal. So the talent pool in both the governments were minimum, and sycophants basically surrounded the chief ministers. So we have seen that Arvind Kejriwal is not just very similar to Sheila Dikshit, but he scaled up those tricks of Sheila Dikshit by several notches to maintain his firm grip in the governance and politics. You were watching Contributors.